All right, today is episode number 71 of Manifest Mondays. Even on a Tuesday, we still manifesting. It don't matter. We here every week, ain't missed a week. This is the Spot Network. I'm DJ Zenas. That's Ramond. That's DG.
Yes, sir.
And we back. Today we're talking about keeping it 100. All I ask is to keep it eight more than 92 with me, 100. So what are we talking about when we say keeping it 100, right? We're talking about honesty. I think the perception of what honesty is and how it shows up in different spaces is very interesting. People always say honesty is the best policy, but is it really? So I think that's going to be something that we discuss. That being said, kicking it off, when do y'all think is the right time to be 100, to be honest, to keep it 100? Like, I think that could probably be very subjective, right?
Correct.
Somebody might think it might be right to be honest or to lie at this point. Somebody else might say something else entirely. So what do y'all think it looks like in y'all's lives?
I would say anywhere else if, beside your job. Ima- Imagine me going to work tomorrow, right? And they ask me like, Diamond, what's your 5 years plan? And you know my 5 years plan. I don't want to be here. Like I don't want to do this shit no more, right? Because see, I feel like they're not gonna accept that where, right? So sometimes we always talk about keep it 100, right? But sometimes there are places in time I believe for that, or it just depends on how you say. For example, I mean, I think it's always important to be honest with whatever you do with your friends, your family, and all that stuff, right? But when it comes to certain things, right, I don't think you have to like reveal your cards right away. Like so it's kind of like white lie. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
what's your 5 year plan? I'm gonna create our 5 year plans, even though I know I'm not trying to be there in 5 years. But just for the time being, knowing that I'm there, I'm
Hmm.
just gonna like create a facade to let you know that I want to be here. But deep down, I know within myself, I don't want to be there. So I think there are certain places in time that you should keep it 100, right? And I believe there are certain places in time you can really keep it 100 because at the end of the day, they're not really going to like accept that honesty from you, right? And also, when they do accept it, then they're just gonna look at you funny, right? So whenever you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take the day off today and work on other stuff, now they believe that you're looking for some other job. So it
Hey,
Hey,
depends on the situation.
what's up, y'all?
what's good,
Hey,
boy?
And bees in the
it's one of the only days
building.
of the year that a nigga wear a suit, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Come on,
what's
man.
up, you know what I'm saying?
Boy, that
What
boy
y'all
sharp
doing,
as a
man?
boy to health, man.
Huh?
Be easy. What's up, bro? You
Yeah,
look
it's raining
sharp.
out here. Shit.
You
Huh?
look pretty sharp,
That
bro.
boy
Clean,
looking
Yeah, I'm going
clean,
to
clean.
this
boy.
award
That
ceremony,
boy, that
man.
boy
My
looking
bitch
dapper.
left me. It's all bad. I'm gonna have to
You said
turn
it's
that
an award
back into
ceremony?
it. Huh?
You said it's an award ceremony?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
about to,
Oh,
I'm
is
about
it
to head
is
out there.
is Q Hall taking home an award or what's up?
Man, God, God, hopefully, God willing, bro, it happened, bro, for real. I hope it
Man,
happens. I think I'm in there, but I got a good competitor, man. Dance Holloway is a good
Yeah.
competitor. Dunk Luggers is a franchise, so I think we might got it.
Okay.
But I was just about to say something according to the context.
Yeah.
Think a lot of niggas be fronting and floating. They don't want it. Nowadays, it doesn't be 100, nigga. Keep it 120 with me.
Keep it 120 with me.
So you running with me. For
Keep it
real. Shit, that was my
120
shit,
with me.
bro. That was a good video, nigga. You need to drop that shit again. Diamond, thank you for using us too, bro. I
of
appreciate you,
course,
man.
Yeah.
bro.
Always, bro.
Of course, man.
But yeah,
All
I
the
just had to
time.
pop on, man. I'm
before
so
before
clean, you know.
before you leave, man, just answer that question, man. When is the right time to be 100? And when's the wrong time? When's the wrong and right times to be 100?
I think I think it just depends on what your 100 is, I guess. If it's dummy shit, it's some right times and wrong times, I think. But it's like, I don't know, like when following God, bro, it's like if he's at the core of that decision, I think that's keeping it 100, bro. I think that's the best decision that could be made in the situation, bro, always.
That's
I've
what's
been
up.
really on my religious, man. I've been on my Jesus, man. So
Yeah.
That's
Love
hopefully
it, bro.
Jesus
Won't
get me
what's
won't
up.
there,
won't he
man.
do
For
it?
real.
Won't he do it,
Won't he
man?
do it? Amen.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Praise the
That's
Jesus.
what's up.
Praise Jesus. real, but
That's what's up.
thank y'all, man, for real,
Hey,
man. Thank y'all. Let me pop off, man. I love
No
y'all,
of
doubt,
man.
man.
course.
Yeah, I'm gonna congratulate you early because I know you
I'm gonna
won, bro.
congratulate
I'm
you
gonna
Hey,
early too,
congratulate you
man.
nah,
early,
bro. I
brother.
asked for it. Huh?
Got this,
I'm
bro.
gonna congratulate you early because I know you won, brother.
Yeah,
Hey,
You
turn
know what
up,
I
brother
yeah.
Lord.
Let's go, Q Hall.
All
Q Hall
right,
jump removal.
thank y'all for letting me get
Already.
on.
For sure, bro.
Thank y'all.
Iowa.
Shout out to Be Easy.
Shout out to BEs, man.
But anyways, DG, did you have something that you wanted to?
No, no, I was saying like someone in the comments said jobs, police, and the court.
Mhm.
I do agree.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
I do agree with that. Those
Thanks.
places and time you don't really want to keep it 100, right? 'Cause they said whatever you say, gonna use it against you in the court of law. So
Facts.
make sure. But yeah, other
Facts.
than that, man, I think you should like work with honesty. You should like say what you feel and express yourself sometimes. But always like we talked about earlier too. Always be cautious with your tone of voice, right? Because sometimes you can deliver the right message, but how you say it sometimes can be offensive. Even though you are trying to be 100, but you should also be mindful of how people feels, right? So that's something I want to add to that as well.
Yeah, that's fire, bro. Yeah, but jobs, police, and court, that's money, man. You know,
JPC.
to, to be honest, when I start thinking about it, it is tough because we it's an interesting thing, right? Like everybody lies for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that we lie about. I don't think anybody's 100% all the time, and it's sometimes we just protecting somebody's feelings or protecting, you know, like you said, if it's job, if it's court, you know what I'm saying, you might be protecting like some information. You know, police, you don't want them to know about jobs. You don't want them to understand your real self. I think, to be honest, it's jobs is a big one because it's like, especially like it's just being black and being in the culture a little bit, like you can't be really your authentic self for real. Like, you
Correct.
Mm,
know what I'm saying? So you almost have to go into it almost lying a little bit. That's the craziest piece,
yeah.
right? Like you almost go into it trying to sell something you're not out the gate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yep.
I think it is tough, man. I ask myself sometimes what would it be like in a world like that? But like, for me, I think trying to be as I think the older you get to, the more you're like you open yourself to be as real as possible, right?
Hmm.
Because I think
Right.
the older you get, the less you have to lie about. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you get in a better position, you don't have to. Your job isn't that important as it was,
Right.
and you know what I mean. It's just like you have less tolerance for it. You're not really trying to get over on people anymore. I think like a lot of times when you're young too, whether it's relationships or whatever, you trying to lie your way into them liking you. You know what I mean? And as you just
Yeah.
get a little bit older, you realize like anybody you gotta lie for them to like you, that's not the person
That's not it.
you need to be
Right.
rocking with
That's
anyway.
not
Like
it.
whether that's friends or relationships, just what I'm saying, anybody you trying to talk to at all. If you're trying to lie your way into kick it, it's probably not it's probably not the move, man. So I feel like I don't know, like be, getting around an environment where you can live in your truth is probably the most important thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least live as close enough to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my take on it. What you think, Z?
I think to your point, just piggybacking off of that, I think it's important to be as authentic as possible at all times. Uh, Also, just in my experience, I don't like lying because I don't like keeping up with
Right.
lies either. It's just like, damn, like what was I lying about? Like, if somebody catch you up in a lie or something, it's just like, oh shit, yeah, damn, my bad. Like, lying it's just. I don't know. There's different tiers of lying, right? Like I think there's like what we would define as like white lies, and then there's like definitely more significant, I guess more grand lies for sure, where it's just like, all right, you really just putting on a front at that point. But I honestly, I agree with what P said, just as far as you get older, I think you become a lot more true to yourself and just understanding that you want to be surrounded with the right people who don't necessarily require you to fake any type of funk or like, you just show up and be your most authentic self. And that's why I say being authentic and being truthful, just being honest. I think also like surrounding yourself with people who can be honest too, you
Right.
know, and aren't afraid to. I think that shows a different tier of a relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a romantic relationship, whether it be a partnership, you know, in business, whatever the case may be. I think when you can actually be honest with each other and not necessarily like feel like somebody's being attacked or something like that, then that's the best type of relationships,
Right.
right? You know, so you want to surround yourself with people like that, and you want to, you know, just be able to just be you. And getting getting caught up in lies and for whatever reason, I remember when I was younger, like I would just find myself like sometimes like lying for no reason, like just like little white lies, and I was just like. I was
I
like,
got to
what the
get this
fuck am
off,
I
man.
doing? I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like,
Like,
like, why did I even
did
lie?
you eat
Like,
them
I
fruit? Did you eat them fruit snacks? Nah.
like,
He said, nah.
although I ain't gonna lie, I still be doing it. Everybody be like, "Hey, Z, you was sleeping?" I'm nah.
Nah,
I
yeah,
was.
we can do
Nah,
that
I
I
ain't.
all
tell
the
you,
Hell
time.
no. Nah, I
I
heard
was wide, you know,
what you was
shit.
talking about.
I was resting my eyes. I don't know what you're talking
That's funny
about,
though. But why do people do that? Especially when it comes to sleep. No one want to be like caught sleeping, bro. Are you sleeping?
no,
Nah.
no,
Like
nobody
why?
wants to get caught
no
sleeping,
one
Why
bro.
wants
is
to
that? Why?
get caught asleep, bro. No,
Why do we always lie
no one
about
wants to get
sleeping,
caught
bro?
asleep. Bro.
Like why do we always lie? Because I'll do the same thing. I'll be watching a movie and like, oh, you fall asleep. I'm like, nah. I'm not gonna.
Nah, hell nah. Hell
Shit, nah,
nah. I was trying to watch the. Hey, calm down. I'm trying to watch the movie, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's just
I
so
was
funny
taking
though.
in the scene.
You
You know
know,
what I mean?
like why do we do that though?
I don't
Especially when
know.
it
It'd
comes
be
to
so
like falling asleep.
childish. It'd be so childish. Like,
That's probably the
yeah,
most childish thing to lie about, bro. To be honest.
like, hey, was you sleeping? Huh?
Nah.
Uh-uh.
Afraid of being called. Someone in the comments said
I,
afraid of being called
Tanisha
old.
said, afraid of being
I
called
mean,
old. Hey,
kids
man,
be sleeping too. My nieces be lying too. Like you sleeping? No, but Diamond,
facts.
I'm wide awake.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Kids be like that. Man, kids, the first thing they do once they get in the car, they go to sleep. That's the first
Right.
thing they do. You be, hey, you sleeping? No.
No.
Yeah.
No. No. Yeah, you
Yeah,
are. I don't
we
know.
start that early, huh? Because
Yeah.
we don't want to have to take a nap. So we, you know what I'm saying? We be fighting sleep from a young age.
Yeah,
We been
man.
fighting sleep our whole life. You know what I'm saying?
That is the most childish thing that people lie about is sleeping. Like it's just
Right.
like
Yeah.
facts.
All right, now
No.
let's switch it though. Let's switch it. But let's get into what are like what's some things that people do lie about that doesn't need to be lied about.
Damn. Ooh,
Mm,
that.
that's a
Because
good
I feel like
question.
that's a hard one, man. Because that's why if people are lying or they're not trying to tell the truth, it's because sometimes people receive the truth a little different. A lot of people say like, oh, they want honesty, but when you give them honesty, they are hurt by it, right? So I feel
Yeah,
like you don't want to like make people go through that pain. Sometimes it's when we
yeah,
like don't really say how we truly feel. Because
yeah.
at the end of the day,
Hmm.
like
Agreed.
yeah, I feel
Agreed.
I don't know. I feel like that's one of the reasons. I mean, there are a lot of reasons, but I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons too.
Nah, I absolutely I agree with that. You know, when people ask you how you doing, and it's just like, you know, you could be going through each and every problem in your life, and it's just like, oh man, I'm good. You know, I'm blessed, living my best life. You know, and it's just like really on the inside, it's like, fam, I'm about to crumble. Like my life
Yeah.
is in shambles. You know, but it's just like you be lying. Like it's just like, oh man, I'm great. You know, like and it's hard to I think to that point, I think the reason why people lie about shit like that is because it's hard to be vulnerable, right? You know, like
Correct.
especially,
That's
you know,
true.
because most people just want surface level. Like if
Right.
somebody asks you how
Yeah.
you are, they don't really want the honest
Fact.
answer. They don't want you to like
They
literally
making
pour all of your problems on
conversation.
them.
Right.
They're just making conversation. That's what they're doing.
Right.
They're not really trying to get into the deepest depths of like
Right.
how you are.
Right.
People are really just surface level. They just like, oh yeah, how are you? It's just like, yeah, you don't really care, but like I'm great. You
Right.
know, but if I were to tell you, like, man, shit, you know, my credit score 400, my my bank account is negative $3,000. Like, if I started like naming all this shit, they'd be like,
Like
God
damn.
damn,
Damn.
like,
Damn.
like shit, like, like, sheesh. I mean.
Right.
I wasn't expecting all that, but thanks for sharing, I guess. Like
Right.
it's just you don't even know how to react in situations like that, right? So that's why I think most people want surface level, but to that point, I think it really is just hard to be vulnerable,
Right.
because of the fear of how that will be received, and
Correct.
will it be
No, that's a
accepted,
good point, Z.
so
Yeah, I agree. Vulnerability is a great point. And then just going back to like
That's a great one.
Mark comment, like people always think I'm taller. That's height. People lie about height, right? Dudes always be like, I'm 6 foot.
oh,
I'm like,
every time.
every dude like I'm 6 foot. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of the things because like people don't want to like reveal their actual height, right? Because at the end of the day, they feel vulnerable about it, right? They feel insecure about it, and they're not trying to be vulnerable. Because nowadays, like people judge you for a lot of shit, right? If you tell them the truth, people make fun of you and say all these things. So I feel like some of the reason people lie is to protect themselves too, right? Because at the end of the day, if you like reveal all the information to people now, people can use those truth about you to make fun of you sometimes. I mean, the wrong people. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's one of the
yeah,
reason. That's a
yeah.
good point that Kels brought up too.
Yeah. I ain't personally never lied about my height, so I mean,
And
but
you
also
always been tall too, though.
I
You
was
know.
gonna say I ain't never necessarily been short, so I ain't never really
Hey, I'm
had
six
to
two,
lie,
Z.
like so. I guess I ain't never had to, I guess
Right,
if you tall, you ain't really got to lie about your height. But I wouldn't
right.
even necessarily consider myself tall. It's funny, like when people ask me how tall I am, I'm like 5'11". They were like, "Why don't you just round up to like 6 feet?" And I'm like, "Cause I'm 5'11". Like like I'm keeping it
Right.
100. Like I'm 5'11". Not a 5'11 and 3/4. I'm 5'11".
5'11" and a half.
No, that's a fact. I
Right,
like.
it's
I like.
true.
I want to shout out what Tanisha said here too, man. She said in business, I've learned how to just say what's necessary. And I
Facts.
think a big thing about truth that we don't talk about is that just because it is a truth doesn't mean you have to always say it.
Yeah.
Like just because it is a truth doesn't mean it needs to be said. I don't think everybody needs to know everything about you.
Right,
Agree.
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to hit on that point. But for me, I think that one thing I wish people would not lie about is like their intention for other people. Like,
Mm,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I think it
Yeah.
like a lot of shit could go a lot smoother if you was just a little more honest about like what you wanted out of somebody, whether it was a business relationship, whether you just trying to talk to a chick for just to it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dudes be that, people be lying though, and I think that's like at least give somebody the opportunity to be with it or not.
right,
People be lying. People
Yeah.
be lying, and I think
right,
it's like don't you hate when somebody's around and you just don't really know what they're around for yet?
right,
You know they want to ask for something, but you don't know what it is yet.
right,
That's the thing that I wish that people was a little more like
right,
Transparent
honest
about.
about. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like I know people when people think that you can do
right,
something for them, then they kind of are on their best behavior to try to get something out of it. You know what
right.
I mean? Sometimes, but I do.
Hmm.
That's one thing I wish that people were a little more like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just a little more, and it took me some years to get to that, like to get,
All right,
to even better. Like I'm still getting better at it, but just
right.
getting to a point where like just be a little more honest about your intentions
Yeah,
for things.
Yeah.
yeah.
Facts.
I agree, but that's a little hard though, right? At the end of the day, most 'cause I think the reason why, because sometimes like what I said earlier, it's so hard for people. People don't really take the honesty. Like people are so soft nowadays, and sometimes the truth hurts, right? Because imagine going to a job like, hey man, I don't give a fuck about this job. I just need a paycheck. I just want that money, like because I got bills to pay. I don't want to be here. Like I don't want to be doing. I don't want to be here actually doing this interview. But I'm just here to get
Yeah.
the paycheck. Most likely, you are not going to get that position, right? It's not going to
Facts.
work. So at the end of the day, I feel like people have to like be a little bit deceptive in the sense,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I read about this company, I saw myself, I think about growth and all those things to be able to
Yeah,
like sell yourself, right? So I think it's all from like a marketing standpoint, right? Because you
Yeah.
got to be able to like sell yourself. So I think that's one of the reasons why people do these things. Is it right? I don't know, right? Is it wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, but like I see your point there, because I feel like sometimes people can take that a little too far, right? People like go into these like businesses with the wrong intention and things with the wrong intention, and
Hmm.
all that could have been avoided by just being honest and transparent, especially when it comes to like dating and relationship and all those things, right? You just want to be honest and open, right? You don't want to go in a situation. I've done that before, right? You just like they're wasting people's time, even
Hmm.
though
yeah,
knowing that this is not what I want, right?
yeah.
But you're just
You know what
afraid,
I'm saying? You ain't saying
to like
it though. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
So I
Yeah.
feel like those are kind of wrong, right? But other such instances might be a little bit different too.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a hard situation to be in, bro. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's
It
hard.
it is hard because I think at the end of the day, everyone has their own best interests at heart.
Correct.
You
Human
know,
Yeah.
nature.
I mean that's just a fact of life, right? As human beings, that's how we survive. It's about survival, right? Like that's the way that we were built. We have to have our own best interests at heart, and so if people were a lot more honest about their intentions, I just don't know if most people would be able to take it, right? I really don't. To your point, DG, if during the interview process I were like, Zenas, what makes you want to join this company? Because I need a fucking job. If I literally said that in the interview, they'd be like, all right, next
Dumbass.
candidate.
Why
Like,
would I? Why
like,
would I?
well, all right. But I'm like, that's the honest answer, right? I
Right.
need a fucking job. Like, like I gotta pay my bills. Like that's the reason why I'm here. Like, let's be honest. You
Yeah.
know, but I feel like in a lot of instances in life, we gotta fluff shit up.
Right.
There's a lot of fluff that goes into just a lot of interaction in
Right.
life. Because like I said, to the point we were talking about earlier, most people want surface level. They
Right.
don't really want the real,
Right.
because the world's just not built for it, right? Like we gotta hide behind these facades, and we have to carry these certain reputations, and live in a particular image. And even with social media, we gotta make it appear like our lives are the most grandest thing ever, like to exist. And it's just like, like that is all just like everything is a bit of a like front to a degree. I mean, that's just what life is. Like, I
Right.
feel like, especially in today's age, right? Um, people aren't honest about stuff like that. Like enough. If they were honest about their intentions, I just feel like a lot more feelings would get hurt. But I,
Right.
I mean, it also could potentially be a better thing, right? Because it's just like, well, I mean, shit, at least they was real.
Right.
If I went up
Yeah.
to a chick and was just like, yo, I'm just trying to fuck,
Right.
she'd be like, You're a fucking asshole. Like, but it was just like, yo, I was honest. Like,
I mean, that's honest, right?
so it's like, what's a better way I could have said that? Like, oh, like shit,
I want to take you on a
I want to
date.
say, yo, should I come up to you and say I want to spend the rest of my life with you? I don't even know you. So like, like, so it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's hard because in navigating shit like that, like, yeah, everybody has their own best interests at heart. And like I said, if everybody was honest, man, shit, people would be fucking in tears all the time because people would just be
Right.
crying, like, from getting their feelings
It's
hurt.
true though. So,
Man, in some sense, I wanted to touch on what you just said, bro. Honestly, I was thinking like if I was the employer, right, and I was like hiring somebody, and I asked them, so like, what made you pick this company? If they came out the gate and said like, I mean, to be honest, I need a job. Like you know what I mean? Like, I need a job. That's number one. Like, why I'm here. You
right.
know what I
Yeah,
mean? I know why you're hiring. You need somebody in this position, and I need a job. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But the second layer of this is, I think I have the skills for this position. I'd actually probably remember them more than the person that just said, I've always wanted to work at your company, and you
Right.
know what I mean? I've
yeah,
researched, and this was the only one for me, and I want to move up through the brand. That one person might stick with me. That was a little more real. Like,
Right.
okay, that's one thing I can kind of trust them to at least be honest. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think
That's true.
I don't know if that's the right thing to say in the interview,
yeah.
but it would make me. I would remember that person though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
but it would be that same person who'd be like, they call out and they'd be like, "Why you missing work?" Oh, I just
I
overslept. I didn't
told
feel
you.
like coming in today. Just didn't feel like coming in
I
today.
I would
Like,
trust it. I would trust it,
yeah,
and you'd be like, "That's." Then you can make a decision. You can make a decision like, okay, that's the type of person that we know we can't have that. Then that's that.
Right.
yeah,
But it's
No,
just like
I see your point. I see it. But it's hard, right? Because especially if you want to like build a company with the right people, right? It's harder to just like have that person. Oh, I know this dude don't want to be here. So if you're looking from like a growth perspective, it's a little bit harder, right? Because that person doesn't like not really align with your goal, with your mission. So that might make it a little bit different, right? If you just,
hmm
I
even
do
though I
feel you.
know you, even though I know you're there for a job, but at least sell me your dream a little bit, right?
hmm
Make it seem like, oh, you care. Because at the end of the day, I don't just want to pay you knowing that you don't really care about what you're doing here. You're
yeah,
just here for the money, right?
I
yeah,
feel
It's like a girl.
that.
It's like you blow up and a girl, you met a pretty girl. Like, I Ramond Diamond, I don't like you. I just here because you got money.
yeah,
You're like, God
But
damn. Like,
yeah.
wouldn't you appreciate that though?
but
You
I'm not
wouldn't
gonna
appreciate
talk to
that?
her. I will, but I'm not gonna
I would
talk to her.
I would
I do
appreciate
feel
it
you.
honestly, but I'd definitely pass. I'd be like,
Yeah, I'm past
cool,
it.
I appreciate you being honest, but
What about
kick rocks.
that
Like,
one
what
that
the fuck?
I do feel you? Like I am passing, but I'm taking that over the one that's playing the long game.
I agree
You
agree.
know what
I
I mean? The
agree for
long
sure.
secretive game, like you
Right.
know what I'm
Right,
saying. She got her
right,
mind on. They got the same thing. I got my
right,
mind on the bag, but I
right,
just gonna play a little bit longer. This is gonna be
right,
a 7 month play. I'm
right.
working on you. You know what I'm saying? You
That's
know
what
what
I'm saying. No, it's strategy, right? That's what I'm saying. Because like, if you're always honest, sometimes you're not always gonna get what you want, which is crazy, right? I know it sounds wrong, but at the end of the day, like that girl who is upfront, like, hey, I'm just here because you got the money. You
saying?
know, like she
Hmm.
most likely it's gonna be hard because most dudes are not gonna like, oh, you just here for my money. Like, I don't want that, right? So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why people lie, right? Or people are not true from the get go, because just being honest sometimes, like, it scares people away. You
Yeah.
know, like people don't want. We think we want the
Facts.
truth sometimes, but we don't really. Because
Yeah.
do you want the truth in
Yeah.
every aspect of your girl? If you ask your girlfriend like every question and she told you the truth, would you want that all the time? I personally say no. Lie to me a little
Mm-mm.
bit. Like,
Yeah. You,
don't tell me your ex boyfriend is better than me all the time. Like, lie to
See,
me at least.
yeah.
God
yeah,
damn. Like,
that would be
And
you
if
nuts.
so,
know.
that would be nuts to be in a relationship. And she was like, "Man, I miss my ex. He was so much better than you." I'd be like, "Bitch, wait, what?" Like, like hell nah. That'd be crazy. Like
That would be nuts.
that would
That
be
would be
crazy.
nuts.
And to that point, that brings me to our next point is people want validation more than honesty. That's
Right,
that's really what it boils down to. Like people don't want honesty; they want validation more than anything else.
Yeah.
People live to serve their egos, right? So
right.
they want their egos fed, like so obviously, like if you were in a situation like that, like and you know I was dating someone and she was just like, yeah, you kind of trash. My ex is lit. So like, but I'm stuck here, because he got a new girlfriend and now I'm just stuck here with you. I'd be like, yo, what? Like,
Damn,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
hell
damn.
crazy.
nah. You don't want, like, no one wants to hear shit like that, right? Like you want some kind of validation, like
Right,
at least to your point, DG,
right,
have some tact, like
right,
uh, have some kind of empathy, like that's all I'm saying. Like, don't just like sit here and be at that point. Lie to my face. I ain't gonna
right.
lie to my face a little bit because it's
Give
it's
me a
really
bold
gonna
face.
hurt
Give
to
me a bold face.
give me a whole face lie, man. I'm gonna need you to put your best poker face on because that's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
is it good to lie to feed another person's ego?
uh,
Is a question.
yes, but let me answer. Let me go to Kel's point real quick. He made a really good comment. He like, what he said. Yeah,
Oh, he did. Yeah, I see it.
yeah. He like, if people can be transparent, what I appreciate is just be consistent. I
Yeah,
do agree with
facts.
that for sure. Consistency is
That's
important. If you're
fire.
not gonna be
Yeah,
honest, but
That's
like
fire.
just be consistent for sure. I just wanted to like highlight that. I think that was dope. And Hanifa said that you can tell the truth without being rude. I do agree with
yeah.
that too. But
Dress
some
it up and make it real for me.
Yeah, but sometimes people just take the truth as being rude. You might not even be trying to be rude, right? But sometimes if you're just honest and blunt, people just take the truth as being rude. But I do agree with that, though. There are other ways that you can phrase that instead of like coming else as being rude.
Yeah.
And then
And
what's the question
just
again, Ramon? I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Ramon. What's the question?
nah, and just on that point too, like the flip on that is some people use telling the truth to be disrespectful too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't got nothing. You just trying. That's some disrespectful shit you do. That ain't got nothing to do with the truth.
I'm
You
just
might
being
not like
honest,
the
bro.
shit,
I was just
but
being honest.
yeah,
That's it.
nah. There's levels, you know what I'm saying? Somebody use the truth to just be like, you might like if you didn't really like something, but you like, nigga, that's the worst. Nigga, stop fucking doing
Right.
that. All that's the worst song I heard in my fucking life. Like,
You
bro,
chat.
you should pack up your shit, bro. Tear down the studio, burn the headphones. Like, nigga, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people been waiting on the moment to be disrespectful and they use the truth as a cover up. So
Right.
I just
That's
had to throw
true.
that in there
Yeah,
too.
I agree.
But
yeah.
the question was, is it okay to lie to feed somebody's ego?
Damn.
Should you
I
lie
don't
to
know.
feed somebody's ego?
It's tough, man, because another point that we were talking about earlier is lying can be an act of kindness, like it really can, or niceness, I should
Right.
say. Right? Because if, for instance, I'm, what do we always typically say? Like if a woman asks you, "Oh, like does this make me look fat? Do
Right.
I look fat in this dress or something like
Right.
that?" Like it could
Right.
be honest and just be like, "Yeah, actually you do." Right? But
There, yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
but it's
that's not
just
gonna
like
work in a
that's
relationship.
not we know that's not gonna work. You
Right.
know that it's not going to work. She don't
Right.
want to hear that. She
Right.
don't want to hear that. She's gonna want to hear, "Oh yeah, baby, you look amazing in that dress."
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I'm not saying I don't know, man. It's tough because I think yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't have the answer. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I'll say to a certain degree, right? Because sometimes there are instances, right? People like they might be going through a hardship, and they're like, "Oh, I look like shit right now." I mean, technically, they do a little bit, right? But in that moment, you can't be like, "Oh, I agree," right? You're like, "Oh no, you look fine. It's okay. You look great, right?" Technically, you're not being honest, right? You're
Yeah.
like flattering them a little bit, but and I think that's good. Because if I'm in that moment, I don't want you like, oh yeah, bro, damn, you look like shit, bro. Like, god damn. I don't want
Hmm.
that, right? Because at the end of the day, if I'm going through a lot, so especially the people around me, they're there to, oh no, man, you look good, bro. You okay? You look good, bro. Like, nah, you
Yeah.
got this. So yeah, technically, like, it's a lot,
Yeah.
'cause in that situation, I don't look as great as my normal self,
Yeah.
but that how I feel, right? I think it's just being like just having empathy for people sometimes. I think that it's that
Yeah.
line, but I feel like in that situation, that's gonna help that person instead of like agreeing
Yeah.
with them. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you look like shit. You
Yeah.
look like shit today.
Hold on. So
You know.
somebody asked a question, how would lying be an act of kindness? I'm gonna give you an example.
He said,
We lie to kids all the fucking time. We be
right,
lying to these kids. We lie about Santa Claus. We lie about the Tooth Fairy. All that. If you were to tell your kid that Santa Claus don't exist, that would shatter their
right,
whole dreams. Like you
facts,
tell a 3-year old, like, "Oh yeah, Santa's fake as fuck."
right,
No, Santa Claus ain't real.
right,
I'm Santa. I'm the one bringing your ass some gifts. You
right,
know, it takes the magic out of it,
right,
right?
facts,
So that's where those little white lies, like that's where I think it can be an act of kindness, is
right,
because like you're letting them believe in the magic. I think
right,
I think life has to have a little bit of magic
correct,
to it, right?
right,
So that's where I say in the instance, like I think lying can be sometimes an act of kindness. It's just like, yeah, I can keep it real later. Like when my
right.
kid's like 8, 9 years old and they probably like, Dad, I knew you was lying. Like Santa Claus ain't real. I'm like, yeah, you right. But your ass was geeked about Santa every damn Christmas, wasn't you? Like every Christmas, your ass would be right there under the Christmas tree. You would put out the milk and cookies, and you would be just fucking exhilarated about
Facts,
Christmas each and
right,
every damn year.
right.
That is the magic. I think
True.
life needs a little bit of
I
magic. So
agree.
that's where I
Yeah.
think you can lie in the form of like serving someone else's ego or just being an act of kindness. I do think that exists.
Cass says Santa is real. He's just not physically present. And Cass, that's a lie. But we love it. I love that lie. That's true though. I can
Man,
see that.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I
I
think
mean, everybody. It seems like everybody like in this is all like just straight on the tell the truth regardless. Like it's
Yeah.
almost feels like that everybody is on the side of that. But what we haven't talked about yet is like, all right, we say the truth and there's a way to do it. What is the way to do it? What's the what is the right way to tell the truth?
I mean, I
You
would
know?
say just yeah, whatever question is being asked, then tell the truth, right? But I feel like if you don't, for example, like if someone asks you a specific question, then yeah, I think you owe that person to tell the truth, right? It's different when if you ask me something about how you feel today, and if I'm like if I know you don't feel as great, and I'm like oh yeah, you feel good, you're gonna be okay. Yeah, technically it might not be the truth, but in that moment that's the right thing to do because by me saying that it's not gonna hurt you.
Hmm.
By me saying that, it's not really going to change anything, right? But let's say if I did something that I went over to your house and took your phone, and then your phone was missing, and you asked me, "Yo, DG, bro, you was over here? Did you see my phone?" I should tell the truth, like, "Oh, bro, I'm sorry, bro, I took your phone." I shouldn't lie about it, right? Because at the end of the day, like that lie could destroy our friendship, right? But the other hand, like someone asking me, "Oh, bro, like, how this outfit look on me today?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks fine. It looks good." Technically, I know it's not the best outfit because I know that I don't want to make you feel bad. I feel like that's not really as harmful as me lying about the other situation, you
Hmm.
know?
I
That,
feel it.
So, so you said the question is, how do you be honest?
What's the right way to What's the right way to tell the truth? You know what I'm saying? We know the wrong way,
Yeah.
but what's
I
the you know?
just what we touched on earlier is having empathy. I mean, I think at the end of the day is just taking other people's thoughts and feelings into consideration. Like I think you can tell the truth, but you can do it in a conducive manner though,
right,
right? Where it's conducive to like our relationship to the to ultimately to a safe space. I think you can absolutely do that. Like it can be a productive way of being honest. And there's like also unproductive ways of being honest.
right,
Like, like we said, like being disrespectful. Like
right,
I think that's really just I think what separates the two is just is all about respect at the end of the day.
right,
It's just like
right,
if you saying something with the intention of hurting somebody's feelings, to your point, Ramon, what you said earlier, you're trying to disguise being disrespectful as telling the truth.
right,
You knew the intention behind that, like, yeah, your ass you look fat as
Yeah.
shit in that dress.
right,
You knew when you said them words that
right,
you knew you was trying to strike a nerve. Where it was just like to Tanisha's point, she's like, like, oh, baby, you know what? I think you should try on another dress. That dress ain't giving. Those are two different two different complete ways of saying this, the same thing, right?
right,
But one is productive, the other one's not, and I think it really just boils down to respect at the
right.
end of the day and empathy.
What if
Like also like
so?
like go ahead.
What if we still on the same point? But what if a girl comes up to you that you find unattractive, and she says you find her unattractive, and she says, "Do you think I'm ugly?" Let me hear you. What's the
Um,
what's
no,
the what's the
Hey,
what's the right way
no,
to tell the truth, man? What's the
no.
right way to tell the truth?
It's say by saying
hey,
no.
uh, you're
That's
not.
a, are you lying? No, that's a
You're
lie.
technically
I said, what's the
lying.
right way to tell the
Yeah,
truth?
you gotta lie. I said no. I'm
No,
not gonna say you
I'm not
ugly,
lying.
bro.
I'm not lying. I'm gonna say, you know what? You're just not my type.
Yeah, but no, she's like, okay, why am I not your type?
Like, what about me is not?
Yeah, what about me? It's not your
let's
type.
get
Be
let's get
honest
to
with
the
me.
specific.
I'd be like, you know what? We're not gonna have this conversation
Why?
because
Why?
we're not having this conversation. Because why? Because
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
at the end of the day, I'd be like, you know what? You are just looking for your ego to be fed, and I'm not finna do that. Like
I'm not doing
the
that. Yeah,
reason why I'm not doing that. Like I know exactly why you're asking me this whole line of questions is because you want your ego fed, and I'm not finna do that.
So
yeah,
she asked, "Do you find
yeah.
me attractive?" Then what do you say? Do you find me attractive? You what do
I
you say
just
to?
you're not my type.
I mean, you're ugly.
And we go dead it at that.
My boy Cavell said, Ramon, in that case, you lie to protect the girl. I
That's
know
what I'm
you just
saying.
asked how lying is kindness.
Right?
That
That,
You
sounds like
have
that
to.
you
that's
know,
that's
you
how you
know,
lie in a
That's what
you
I'm
know what I'm
saying.
saying. So
You have to in that situation, bro. Because it's no, you can't wait like, like nah. You have to, man. Because at the end of the day, the whole day's gonna be ruined, right? Like, yeah, I lie, but at
yeah,
the end of the day, I lie for
I
someone
think
else's
you can
day
have good
better.
intent. I think I don't know if lying. I don't know if kind's the word, but I think some people do lie with good intention.
hmm
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Some lies do come from good intention. It's like I'm not trying to hurt this person. You know what I
right.
mean? Like so,
Yeah.
I think you know.
Yeah, I think yeah,
All
it's
right.
hard, man. Because at the end of the day, like like Kevin Samuel, the late Kevin Samuel, sometimes he was honest and truthful, but some people didn't like the truth, right? People were like, oh, I like be blunt and honest. Sometimes he was blunt and honest, and people hated that, right? So at the end of the day, it's like sometimes like we were saying earlier, it's about how you saying the truth. Because people say they want the truth all the time, but if you're honest and saying the truth, like being blunt, people are not going to accept that. So you have to,
Yeah.
like what Z said, fluff it a little bit, put some icing on the truth a little bit. Oh, you're not my type. Yeah, even though
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna say, oh, yeah, you're ugly. You can't say that, even
All
though
right.
that's how you might feel, but you can't really say that.
Facts. Because to your point, reminder of what you were saying, everybody in here keeps like leaning on the side of like, oh, you got to just tell the truth at all times. I know y'all's asses have lied before in
I
y'all's
know
lives,
they
so
lie.
I'm like,
I feel like they
I'm like,
lying in
hold on,
here, bro.
I'm
I feel
like,
like they
y'all in
lying in
here
here.
lying right now. Like, what y'all talking about? So I'm like, hold up. Hold, is there a such thing as too much truth? I really want to know this. I really want to know if there's too much truth because I feel like most people aren't truthful.
Right,
If we're talking about 100% truthful,
right.
there
No
are
one
Yeah,
very
is.
there are very few people, probably no one on this
Nobody,
earth who's
nobody.
100% truthful.
Yeah,
No one
nobody.
is. So
Right.
that being said, like, where do you draw the line? I gotta know this because I know here in the comments, here in the thread, not all y'all be telling the truth 100% of the time. So like,
Right.
where do you draw the line? I gotta know.
Right.
I gotta know.
Tanisha said, "I bet y'all be late making y'all life complex because y'all be like,
Why you always lying?
it could
Why
be so
you
simple, man."
always lie?
No, I think it's just having empathy, man. Sometimes you just have to like the environment you're in, the situation you're in. You just have to like play accordingly, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not like you're lying. If you're going around lying to people, hurting people, that's different, right? But if people are asking you, like, I'm saying, oh, like, if you know, if you're honest, that is that gonna hurt that person? I'm not gonna
Hmm.
say it. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that, or I'm gonna find ways to like make it sound nice as possible, so not to hurt that person. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, what's the point, bro? Like, like, oh yeah, I feel like I look like shit today, and they agree. Oh yeah, you look like shit. Like, what? How is that gonna help that person? So my goal is to just try to like uplift people a little bit, and by not fluffing the truth a little bit,
Hold up. Tanisha over here talking about she's side-eyeing us. I'm like, hold up. You mean to tell me your ass don't ever lie? Like you never lie.
The
No,
lie
that's a
detector
lie.
determined that was a lie.
That is a lie. I know you lied at some point. I know you lied at some
Right.
point. And that's what I'm saying. Like, where do you draw the line? Is that okay to lie sometimes? Okay, I'll give you a prime example. Is actually I'll even do one better. I got a better question. Is selective truth lying?
Mm.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give you a prime example, right? Let's say you're in a relationship and you go out with your homies. Like you out with the homies, y'all having a good time, popping bottles, shit, shaking ass, boom. Hey, good time. You know, and you was out, you had a good time, chilling, vibing with the boys, and a chick, broke you off. For like 30 seconds, she came up and backed that thing up, threw that ass on you, right? Are you gonna go home and tell your girlfriend, your significant other, your spouse, whoever that happened? It's like, oh, babe, how was your night? Hey, I had a great night out with the fellas, man. We was popping bottles, we was in there, shit, having a good time. Are you gonna tell? Are you gonna tell? Are you gonna tell her about your ass, the chick who threw ass on you, like for 30 seconds? Are you gonna tell
Shout out to Kels in the comment. Kels said, yes, I'm telling my wife.
her?
First off, I wouldn't put myself in that. I would try not to put myself in that situation by all means, right? That's the point. If it happens, then that's hard. Because at the end of the day, it's like, fuck, then you're going to feel a little guilty, right? Like, dang, I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. Yeah. I, I guess
So
you
are,
have
You
to,
said,
though.
hold up, did you
I
say you
guess.
said wife, right?
But I
No,
think, yeah,
no, I'm saying it could be like your girl, just whoever.
yeah,
Like, let's say your person,
right,
like whether that's your girlfriend, your fiance, wife, whatever. Like,
right.
just
Yeah,
your
I would say
person.
rule number one, don't put yourself in that situation. That's what I would do. I would try not to put myself in that situation at all costs. I would try not to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's easy to avoid, right? But and the fact that why you even telling when you're doing that, you know you shouldn't be doing it. Then why are you doing that in the first place? That's my question. Why,
You horsing around, man.
yeah, why are you even doing that? So for me, I wouldn't even put myself in that situation. I would try not to, But if she asked, then yeah, you have to. Then she asked, fuck. Because in the day,
I probably, to be
because
honest,
if
I
you,
think I would
right,
though. I think I would
right.
kind of do it in a playful way, like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, if you asking, I ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? It would I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I probably would say it. Just knowing me, I
Right.
would say it. I
you
would say
know,
it.
yeah, right.
But I
I
think,
mean, that's
like, especially when, I don't know, like, I feel like certain things is like, I don't know about in this situation specifically, but like, sometimes, like, the whole truth doesn't add to like any good
right,
either. Like, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, like, I mean, like, I don't know, like, if you like, I don't know, like if you was out like that and then you just seen somebody that you used to talk to and they, you know what I'm saying, and they like tried to say something to you, is that even worth bringing up? Like as
Right.
a new conversation,
Right.
you tried to say something to you, you was kind of like waving it off. Is that even worth? You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like
Right.
selective truth sometimes is just off. Like, is this even worth another conversation? You know what I
Right.
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because it was
I
Something
feel
I
you.
feel like I
right.
guess
Yeah.
dancing on you getting broke off. Like there's some cameras out. You might get seen anyway. So I mean, at that point,
Yeah.
and it's kind of just funny in the sense, right? Like this happened. This is what it
Yeah.
is. I
Yeah.
wasn't trying to be disrespectful. This happened.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
some things, I just feel like don't even add to any good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna do y'all one better. Cause since everybody just a truth teller out here, ain't nobody be lying. Y'all's asses
Oh,
don't
we be
ever
like,
lie.
nah,
Y'all's
not
asses don't
me.
ever lie. I'm like, all right, I got a doozy for y'all.
Right.
All right, so
Let's hear it.
let's say your best homie, right? Yo, whoever that is, y'all go out, have a good time. Let's say same scenario, y'all went out, had a good time. Let's say your homie is in a relationship.
Right.
Let's say like like let's say they got a fiance, right?
Right.
And while y'all was out, your
Damn.
homie got a little too drunk, ended up making out with another chick or another
Damn.
dude, whatever the case may
Right.
be. And then that person, like your homie's partner, asks you about it. And it's just like, hey, like,
Right. What happened last night? Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened last night? Are you telling
Ah,
that person the truth?
no. No.
Nah,
Since y'all all truth
be honest.
tellers, since y'all
Nah.
all truth tellers,
Nah. I'm
and y'all got to
not.
tell the truth 100% of the
Right. I
time,
agree. I agree.
are y'all
No.
telling
That
that person's the truth?
No. That's what I'm saying. We all
I'm
lie. It just depends on the
not telling the truth,
situation.
but I'm not lying. I'm probably just gonna be like, I don't know.
No.
That ain't nah.
No.
I don't
You
know.
was there, but you can't say that. I don't know. You're gonna say no. Like if you was there and y'all went out
Yeah, if you
together,
say I
but
don't
you
know,
and I.
I guess if you say I don't know,
Yeah.
that was a lie, right?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. To be honest,
Yeah.
in
That's a lie.
yeah, in
Cause
this
you.
one, it's not my truth to tell. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a lie, though.
But
That's
that's
a
a
lie.
lie. But it's a
It's not
lie
my truth.
though.
It's not
But
But
my
that's a
truth to
lie.
tell.
so y'all's asses be
To
lying then, is
Z
what
to
I'm
Z
saying.
point, that's a lie. Cause you was
That's a
there.
lie.
I mean, you was there. I mean, at the end of the day, you was there. Is cause that's the term, lying by omission. You're not saying that you was there, right? That she asked you, like, what does Diamond do, right? If you know you saw me doing that, if you're not telling that, oh, he didn't. That's a lie. And I think we all do that, right? I think it just depends. I feel like we all lie. I think it just mostly depends on the situation. Other people it might
Yeah,
be certain
I
things.
yeah.
I think it just depends on the situation.
I'm on the side in that situation that it's not my truth to tell.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell that truth. If he wants to, that's up to him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, but it's not my truth to
But you
tell.
lie
Like, I feel like
though. But you're not saying
why
Yeah.
is
what
he?
you're
I don't.
like.
I'd be like, I don't know. You have to have a conversation with him. I don't know what. Why am I even in this? You asking me about him? Like, ask
But
him.
but
You know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
lie
If he
technically,
lies to
right?
you, that's a whole nother thing. Like, if he lies to you, that's whatever. But it's not my truth to tell. That's on the
But
side. Because I'm not telling. I'm gonna just be honest with
exactly,
you.
I'm
You
not.
know
I'm
what I'm
not
saying?
telling
Like,
Yeah.
either.
I'm not
That's
telling.
what
You
I'm saying.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It depends on the situation. There are certain times like you can't, bro. You just have to
Yeah.
like not. You just have to lie. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you ask him. Like, I don't
I
know.
agree. I
I
agree.
don't know. I didn't see anything
The reason
because
why I
I'm not
wanted
going to be the
to
one to
pose
tell
that
him that.
question, the reason why I wanted to pose that question is because everybody's just over here just truth telling 100%. All I'm saying is there are
Cap.
certain
Right.
scenarios
Yeah.
where it's okay to lie sometimes.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and that might be one of those
Right.
scenarios. Like, but you got to figure out where to draw the line.
Right.
All I'm saying is not everybody's telling the truth 100%
No.
of the time.
No one is, bro.
No
No
one
one
is
is.
keeping
No,
it 100
no.
100% of the time. Like that's just not. It's not the
Right,
case.
right. What I've learned, I think some of us are just good when it comes to certain areas, certain things we tell the truth on those specific things, and there are other things that we lie, right? So it just depends on the individual, right? Some people are, oh, if you ask me about this all the time, I'm telling the truth. I'm honest with this, right? But when it
Hmm.
comes to certain things, I'm not doing that, right? So I think it just depends, that specific thing. Because like I might be the truth teller, I might be honest with every time I ask me, I'll tell the truth. But when it comes to that specific situation that Zenas just described, I'm gonna fold. I'm not gonna tell the truth in that situation. Does that make me a liar, right? Because at the end of the day, I saw that I was there, but at the end of the day, because I know when it comes to this type of situation, I don't want to be the one to like be liable for if that relationship doesn't work. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, things might happen, and at the end of the day, oh, they're gonna blame me. Oh, bro, you told my girl. At the end of the day, now you're gonna have that conversation with that friend. Situation gonna be all messy. I don't want to be the one to do that. So it just depends on the situation. So in that situation, I feel like, damn, you might
But
have to just, like someone said, hold your tongue. That's anything.
Tanisha
That's
said
it,
she
man.
lied. Tanisha said she lied to get food
Hell
stamps.
yeah.
That's
Hell yeah. Shit,
what I'm
I
saying.
lied. I lied so my damn student loan payments could be $0. So
Right.
like, I mean, we
It just
all be
depends. That's what
lying.
I'm
Hey,
saying. It just depends, cause like,
let's not incriminate ourselves, fellas. Like no more lies. Let's not tell them no more lies. You know what I'm saying?
no, for real though. Imagine, like, it's true. Imagine if the cop pull you over. You're not gonna say, "Oh, I was speeding, bro." You're not gonna say that. Even if you were speeding, you're not. The first thing that comes to mind, be like, "Oh, I was speeding." Most likely, we're not going to say that. So I ended that. I feel like those type of situation, is it okay? I guess.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're getting close to the would you rather question
Yeah.
because it's like
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
about that time.
uh, a
all
lot of
right. So,
chicks. People,
which would you rather question today?
It's
We got one.
it's not necessarily a would you rather, but it's a scenario, right? So anyone knows when it comes to the spot network, at the end of every segment, we always put you on the spot. Typically, we do a would you rather question, but today, being that the subject was honesty, keeping it 100, we had to brainstorm a little bit and figure out something that would ultimately keep you on y'all's toes. So the question for today is, would the world be a better place or a worse place if everyone always had to tell the truth and couldn't lie? I'm gonna repeat that. Would the world be a better or a worse place if everyone always had to tell the truth and couldn't lie?
I would say I don't think I don't think it would be a worse place. It will be the worst place for sure, right? Because at the end of the day, truth is important. I would say better. It'll be net positive because at the end of the day, we are all gonna keep it 100, right? Then we're gonna like build that immunity when it comes to like when people are telling us the truth. I think nowadays we live in a world that so many people don't tell the truth, and when people tell the truth, sometimes we haven't learned how to accept the truth. But if the world was like just 100% just truthful, we were gonna learn to adapt and we are gonna accept that better. So overall, I'll say it'll be a better place for sure. Because now if I'm knowing when I'm going to that job interview, I can be like, you know what, I don't want to be here, man. I just won the job, and the manager can be like, no, I don't even want to hire you because you're black. So at the end of the day, now I know it. So so we both know it, right? So I think overall, it'll be better.
Yeah,
It will be better. Yeah, I can
yeah,
say that it'll be better. Yeah, because over
It's
time we're just gonna learn to adapt and just learn to accept the truth for sure.
I guess if I had to choose, I'd probably had to say better, but I think it could be rough for some people, right?
Right.
Like there would be no such thing as finesse. I think everybody on here, I think us, everybody in here, I know Tanisha, my cousin, Mark, all of us, I just have a natural level of finesse
Right.
about us, and we've
Right.
done like little lies that just kind of put us in position sometimes,
Right.
right?
yeah,
I'm skipping the line. I'm telling, nah, I mean, I was just in here. Me and them two was just we good. We with the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
the finesse would be out of there. Like,
Right.
so I think the interesting thing that I'm starting to think about why I say it's better. It is better. Like I guess just on the level of like you
Ethical
never have to
standpoint.
worry if
Right.
somebody's
Right.
no, you never have to really worry about if somebody's lying. But then there's going to be some people that can't finesse their way into a better position that they're already at.
Right.
hmm
They can't if you can't lie on your you know what I'm saying in the interview you can't not even like a little one you got to be the most authentic thing. Sometimes you might not be able to level up into a level. So I think overall as a community it'll probably be better. But as I think about it, it's like some people would just be stuck.
Right.
hmm
For
Like with
sure.
no chance. With no chance. You know what I mean?
Right.
yeah, yeah. Because everyone knows we done all lied our ways into some shit
Come
for
Yeah.
on.
For
sure.
sure.
Some
It's
of my
all
best
good.
nights of my life. You know?
Right.
I done finagled my ways into some crazy ass nights, some epic rooms,
Oh yeah.
some wild stages, like shit. We all done finesse our way into some shit, and
Right.
and that would be completely out of there. You just gotta you honest, just 100% of the time. I did want to touch on something because I actually had the exact same mentality that Kels did. He said, the world would be better, but he thinks there would be like an adjustment period, you know. And I absolutely agree with that. Like I think if right now, you know, like if all of a sudden a snap of the fingers, you know, let's say Thanos snapped his fingers, it was just like everybody got to be fucking honest 100% of the time, you know, right? Type shit.
Yeah.
Then the world initially would be like that buffer period would be nuts, like crazy. Because like everything, like you talk about freedom of speech and all that shit, like everything that everyone ever wanted to say, and they gotta say it,
Right,
it's gonna be nuts. So there is
right,
gonna be a crazy ass buffer period.
right.
Like some people are going, there's gonna be some outlandish shit happening. Like
Facts.
first and foremost, like it would be some crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
you know. Let's say a prime example, Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was up on the podium saying whatever the fuck he wanted to say,
But
it
it
would
had
be
to
some
be true. It
it
had to
would
be
be
true
some
too. It
wild
had to
shit,
be.
boy.
And imagine if it had to be true too. Like it had to be true.
Like he had to tell the truth.
What
Boy,
up,
Donald Trump would be up
America?
That
there saying some
would
reckless
shake some
shit.
shit up,
It,
boy.
it
That
would
was
it, you talk about shaking, boy. I'm telling you, like there would be a buffer period where the world would just be nuts.
I don't like
yeah.
black people. They're the scum of the earth. Black people disgust me.
Like that buffer period is gonna be crazy. Like I think ultimately in the long term,
Right,
the world would be
right.
better. But in the short term, life is finna get real fast. So
She
Hanifa said the
said, at least the
scammers will
scammers will
stop
stop
texting
texting.
us.
Bonifa is stupid.
Hey,
She said
They,
at least
that's
the scammers
that's more.
they,
that's stupid.
Oh
they ain't gonna
man,
be no scammers for
that's worth it
sure.
in itself, bro. If
I feel like
that might be worth it in
the
itself.
the scamming industry gonna go under for
Or if
sure.
they
Everything
just
gonna
now they probably would they would start they would still be trying. They just try to be honest, like yo man, I just want the money, man. I want some money, man.
Hey, I'm just
I need
texting
it.
you to
I need it,
scam you,
man.
like the
Yeah.
text. Hey, I'm just trying to scam you, bro. This is
Could you
a
scam?
scam.
Could you tell the truth and scam somebody? That's an interesting thing, right? They find a way. They will find a way, bro. I promise
Uh,
you.
oh, bro, imagine being told, text me a social security number. This is a scam. Like, text me
I'm gonna use it. I think they would probably try to put it in like big words so you couldn't understand it. If you text me this,
oh my god.
yeah, bro.
Text me a social because I'm trying to scam you, man. And no more manipulation. Overall, I think overall it'll be better. But I just think like, yeah, overall it'll be net positive for sure. Yeah.
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 Kel said the hobo cardboard signs would be crazy.
Sheesh.
But yeah, then what about your thoughts though, right? What about even though like it's not action? What about things that you're thinking about, right? You haven't done it yet. If someone asks you, "What are you thinking about?" If you don't share exactly what you're thinking about, would that be considered a lie then?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, bro. You'd have to. We're talking about where like you literally
Dang.
could not like you would be incapable of lying.
So
Like,
anything they ask you, you're thinking about right now, you have to whatever's on your mind at that specific time. You know, it might be crazy. You have to
yeah,
disclose that information. That,
Would the world be nicer or meaner? Like, would
I,
it be?
That's a good question. I would say
that
Maynard
man.
for sure,
Yeah,
because people now are going to use that vulnerability. Because I feel like in order for you to disclose everything, that's a level of vulnerability, right? And not to a stranger, and people don't even care about you. So I think now people are going to use those type of information to like bully you for sure. So they are going to be meaner. I definitely, I will have to say yes. It's going to be meaner for sure. Because now people are just going to be honest with
You
you.
would hear some fucked up
Yeah,
shit in that world,
yeah,
yeah.
your
And
parent,
that's
if you ask your parent, like, you know what I'm saying, something like, did you want to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think you would hear some fucked up shit in
yeah.
that world. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say, man, it would be exhausting to be in
yeah,
that world initially, bro. Because
yeah.
like I said, I mean,
Yeah,
the example we gave earlier, you ask somebody how they're doing, and they literally finna like lay it all on you, and it's just like, and that's everybody,
yeah.
everybody bro. When I tell you my social battery would be zero, I would not be talking to nobody, bro. I'd be like, God,
Yeah, but it'll be
I
crazy
can't
though.
tolerate it today.
But imagine the serial killers who are like, oh yeah, today I'm gonna go kill people. Today I'm gonna go rape.
Yeah,
now
Like
he don't have to say
so.
it. If you asked him, he'd have to tell you, but I don't think you just have to say,
I
you
mean,
know what I
if
mean?
you ask
Like,
him, that's what I'm saying, right? If you ask him, they have to
yeah, like
say that.
what you got going today? Yeah, if
What you
somebody
going on
asked him,
today?
he'd have to
Yeah,
say it.
someone's gonna say that. Like, what you got going on today? Oh yeah, today I'm about to like. So imagine, oh, damn, it'll be crazy though. Because at the end of the day, we still want truth, but I don't want to hear that all the time, bro. even though it might be right, by the end of the day, like all the crazy things people are thinking about 24/7, what they're
Yeah.
going to do all day.
Yeah.
Ah,
Like I said, that buffer period, I think in the long term, ultimately, everybody would develop like thick skin to where it's just like,
correct.
I think in the long term, it'd be like, all right, like this is just the norm now. Like where it's just like you can overshare, you can say whatever's on your mind, and it is what it is. Like you just have to tell the truth, right? Um, but like I
Yeah,
said, that buffer period though, it would be nuts. Like nuts.
yeah,
I
but a little
think
bit
you.
of finesse is
I
fun
think the
though.
world. I think the world would be quieter.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I think, like I kind of agree with Hanifa said. She said we would have to be real intentional about our interaction. Like, because the question then becomes like, can you not speak?
Right,
Like, what if somebody asks you something you could just not speak?
you have to.
Oh,
No,
dude,
no,
dude,
not necessarily.
Right.
Because you're not
No,
lying
I
at that
agree.
you're
point.
That's
not
You
true.
just
lying.
you don't have to talk. Like it's just
Right.
like I just don't feel like talking.
Then that's a lie. If you ask you what's on your mind, if you know what's on your mind, you just want to share it. The reason why you're afraid to share it would not be considered a lie then, because I don't
But
want
what
to
if
tell
you
you
just
for
didn't
you
say anything? Like, what's on your mind? They just didn't say anything.
nothing.
Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
like
but
like 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 Tanisha said, hold your tongue. It's just like man, I ain't got shit to
yeah,
say.
Yeah,
but
I think the
yeah,
world would be quiet. I think the world would be quiet, bro. I think it would be a quiet place.
Yeah,
I
like I said, I mean, my social battery would be depleted, boy. Because I'm telling you, like one interaction could fuck up your whole day. You'd be
right,
like, God damn,
right.
man. Like I'm tapped. I'm tapped for the day.
Yeah, no, it would be crazy. Damn, I'm trying to think. Wow,
Yeah.
yeah,
That, like I said, that buffer period, like imagine having a conversation with like people at work and shit like that. And it's just like, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up and get out my face about this work shit, I don't care about that quarterly report. Like,
right.
like
Hey, that's how
it'll
you
get
did.
done.
That's how you did that dude that was in Rwanda trying to request that song.
Yeah, that
That's how
shit was
you did my
hilarious.
boy, bro.
This dude, this
That's how
dude,
you
this
did.
dude, this dude came up to me in Rwanda trying to request a song when I was spinning. I was like, bro, like, and the first time he came up, I was like, cool, like, because he actually requested a cool song. I was like, bet. And then after that, like, he came up, he kept coming up, and I was like, bro, I'm about to slap the shit out of you if you don't get the fuck out my face. Like, fam, like, do you want your song played or not? If so, then back the fuck up. Like,
There'd be a lot of those interactions going on in that truth telling world.
Yeah. I mean, damn, it'll be hard though. Yeah, it'll be hard because like sometimes there might be some things on my mind I don't want to disclose that at that moment.
yeah,
Like someone might ask you, "What are you thinking about?" Sometimes like all those crazy thoughts and stuff that goes on in our heads some days. Imagine you have to like
Fact.
share that every time someone asks you, "What are you thinking about?" I don't
yeah,
know if I feel comfortable telling my mom. I don't know my mom or my dad some of these crazy thoughts, bro. I don't know.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you imagine your mom
Because
asks
to that
you,
point, yeah, no, go
"Go ahead,
ahead.
Z." No,
No, I was gonna say to the point of what Bunifa said earlier. She said, you would really find out how like weird people are. But I mean,
yeah,
at the same time, like you would find out how all like at the end of the day, I think everyone has crazy thoughts.
right,
Yeah.
Like every single
correct,
person
Yeah.
in this world has crazy
Yeah.
right,
thoughts. It's whether or not you choose to act on those thoughts is
right,
what separates it.
fact,
Everybody has crazy thoughts,
right,
so it's just like imagine if you just had to share them thoughts all the
yeah,
time. It's just like, man, like fuck, like,
yeah,
I got this like crazy ass thought, but I'm like, I'm clearly not gonna act
right,
on it. Like, but yeah, I had the thought, it crossed my
yeah,
mind. Like, shit, somebody cut me off in the street, and I wanted to kill this motherfucker. Right?
fact,
Like. But am I actually gonna go and do it? Nah. Like it's just
right,
like it's but
yeah,
everybody got crazy ass thoughts. So like to Bunifa's point, she said you would figure out how weird people really are, but like you would really see how. Man, you want to know who would be like in high demand in this world? Therapists.
Oh
true,
boy.
The shit that therapists would have to deal with, boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Boy,
Get him a
you
raise immediately.
you better give them a raise expeditiously.
yeah. I don't know, man.
That would be
Yeah,
nuts.
that would be hard because I feel like yeah. Imagine your mom asking you, have to tell her everything that's on your mind, like everything. Like,
Anifa said her answer a lot of the time would be, "You're in my business. Don't do that.
yeah,
Don't do that. Don't do that, man."
I don't know, man. But yeah.
Yeah,
overall, I think things will be good, but it's just gonna be crazy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
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 I'm on that side. Facts.
all right, let's let's see. Let's wrap this thing
I
up.
think this a good spot for us, man.
yeah,
You know, shout out to everybody being super active today, man. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Sure.
Tapping back in with us, man. I
yeah.
better not hear y'all ever tell another lie, boy. I better
Yeah,
not, cause y'all
as
was in here.
as much as y'all was saying, boy, like y'all all the saintest of the saints don't ever lie in y'all's lives. I better not hear not one there, not one lie.
You know they be applying for those discounts and stuff. Like, yeah, I've been a valid customer and all that stuff. Nah, for sure,
But but
man.
but shout out to everybody who tapped in, man. This was a fun episode. This was hilarious, honestly.
Right.
But yeah,
Tell
shout
say
out
I won't if y'all won't for sure.
shout out to everybody out there keeping it 100,
Hey,
man.
Kel, back in CSU, bro, you used to tell me I was swole, and I wasn't swole, Kel. You lied to me, bro. You were telling me PG is swole, and I wasn't.
Yeah, you know, you even told somebody they was a fly guy and they wasn't
Yeah.
fly at all. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You
Let's
told me I was your favorite, Kels. You lied to me. Nah, man, I appreciate everyone who joined the live
Yeah.
today, bro. It means a lot.
Shout out to everybody who tapped in, man. We'll be back next Monday and every Monday after that. Maybe on a Tuesday. We might, shit happens, right? You got to pivot sometimes. So, we manifesting on a Tuesday, but we'll be back to regular scheduled programming next Monday. And more than likely every Monday from there. But be sure to tap in with us, the Spot Network. Follow us at the Spot Network Official. I'm gonna say that again, at the Spot Network Official.
For sure.
Tap in with us. Feature.
especially on YouTube too. Add to that,
Right,
especially on YouTube too, man. Because
right.
me and Z did we did a couple mixes while we was in Africa too, man. So we're gonna have some dope DJ mixes on there and some new
Yeah,
content
man.
coming up to the show. So
Yeah, man. Be
yeah,
sure to
so
tap in.
definitely, yes, sir.
All right,
But
fellas.
all right, y'all.
All right,
Until
All right,
next
y'all
see
time.
be
y'all
easy,
later,
man.
man. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right.